Do I begin? Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Sade Howard. I am the admin assistant to our executive director, Brian Atkinson, here at the UAB Transportation Department. And I come here today to talk to everyone about how to get around to and from and around UAB campus. At UAB, we have a plethora of ways that that your student can get around campus, either by walking, which is the most efficient way, or oh my gosh, bicycling, bus services, on-demand trips, driving, and then we also have other options such as VO, which is the electric scooter service that we have around campus, that I will discuss a little bit further later. Now, walking and bicycling is the most effective way, as I mentioned earlier, because UAB campus is mostly flat and majority of the classrooms and the dining rooms and the resident halls are within a half mile of the Hill Student Center. Bicycle racks are at most of the buildings, and you can register your bicycle with us here at the UAB office, transportation office, and you'll be able to receive a free helmet and a lock. So there's three bus services that are in the city of Birmingham. Birmingham Express, which is operated by Max Transit, is dedicated on specific bus lanes with signal prioritization. We also have Max Transit, which is the main bus route throughout the city of Birmingham. It has up to 20 routes to the suburbs from Magic City, Birmingham connector to all the way to downtown Homewood, and they do have routes on the UAB campus as well, and their hours are listed below. Blazer Express is our on-campus bus service. These are operated between Monday through Friday from 5:30 a.m. to midnight. It's just the hours vary by the route that the student takes. Our bus routes are operated by an app that we use called Transloc. If you want to scan the QR code right before your student gets into class, just for you to have that on their phone, you can do that as well. And on this app, it tells the locations of the buses, the routes, and then the times that the bus comes. We also have several on-demand transportation services. Like I mentioned before, we have the shared micromobility, which is electric bikes and scooters. That is VIA. We do not run that, but it is located all across campus for if your student needs a quick ride to a class, they can hop on one of those. Also, we have ride-hailing apps such as Max Connect, which is, and then we have Uber and also Lyft, which are taxi services that the city of Birmingham uses as well. Lastly, we have Birmingham On Demand. It costs $1.50 per trip for the student to take. I believe it's within the city limits. It's like within the city. Yeah.
You can find their operating areas on their websites. They've changed a lot over the years.
Okay. Thank you, Garrett. But like Garrett said, yes, you could find like their routes and stuff on their website, which is also attached to our presentation as well. We have on-demand transportation that is provided by us. We have Blaze Ride, which is a no-cost ride that is for specifically for students who have that are on DSS services. The hours of transportation for that specific service is Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Also, the routes can be tracked through our Transloc app, which I mentioned previously. We also have Safety Escort. Let's say your student needs an after hours ride. They're afraid to walk at night. That services is held between 9 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. Also, you can find the routes on our Transloc app as well. Garrett, do you want to speak on this?
Sure. For Blaze Ride, to become eligible for that, uh, for students, you would have to go through DSS, and both the Blaze Ride and the Safety Escort functions very similarly to like Lyft or Uber. It's an on-demand service, and those would be requested through the on-demand tab on the Transloc app.
Thank you, Garrett. So parking permits. So purchasing a parking permit, everybody's favorite topic. So for the fall, the August 1st is the day that parking permits will open up for fall and spring of 2026, 2027. If your student is in Gold Hall for the academic year, they'll be 448 for that whole year. If your student is a housing student who's going to either be in Zone A or H for that full year, the price is going to be 448. They only need one semester. It'll be 239. Parking zones for commuter students, students that are traveling to campus for that academic year to park in Zone B will be 448. For that semester, it will be 239. Zone C, $287 for that academic year, 161 for that semester. And then zones D, E, F, and G are $359 for that semester. I mean, sorry, for the academic semesters, and then 192 for only one semester. Spring permits are purchased in December 1st, and summer permits are purchased in April 1st. Students may order their permits. Oh, excuse me. I'm not done talking about that. Why is it? Oh, students may order their permits as long as they have created their Blazer ID. Um, when you go into the parking portal website, that's where students will purchase the permits. They'll either able to choose either a housing permit or a commuter permit. It's just based on what they are when they come into that fall semester, which is the one that's coming up in August. Um, the portal will display several options, but like I mentioned, the parking options are limited by sub-classifications. Either you're a housing student or commuter, you will only see your options for either or. If available, multiple zones will be displayed. Please feel free to contact our office. Either me or our program coordinators will help you fix and have that student be able to have the choices that are made based on what they are classified as. You will need to ensure your license plate recognition. You'll need to ensure your license plate information is correct because we are using license plate recognition technology, which I will discuss further in the next slide. Permit fees are applied to student accounts at the beginning of the term. See, you will not see the fees applied directly when you get the permit. You'll see them exactly sometime within the first week of when your student starts school. Virtual permits. Like I mentioned in the previous slide, your license plate is your permit. So please ensure that your student has the accurate information attached to their on their parking portal when you apply for their permit on our parking portal website. The student is only allowed to have up to two vehicles registered to the permit, and they can only have one of vehicle which is attached to the permit and on campus at one time. It is very important that the student, when they are driving, when they are parking, that their license plate is visible from the driver's aisle because our parking and enforcement team uses a technology called license plate recognition, which is located on top of their vehicles. And in order for them to be able to detect that your student has a permit, they must be able to see it from when they're driving down the driving aisles. Both vehicles will be issued a citation if they are found on campus at the same time. So please make sure that your student is only driving that one vehicle that is linked on their parking permit that's attached to their permit one time. And if you want to have any further information regarding this, please visit I'm sorry, not office, but please visit the Transportation website where we talk about it a little bit in further details. Now, please make sure that your student knows his or her zone before they park on campus. Because if they park in a zone that they are not assigned to, that they did not purchase, they will receive a citation. Do not park spaces in on UAB campus are designated for ADA and carpool purposes. So please ensure your student does not park in a do not park area. They will have a sign that says it. So just make sure that they are aware of that. Please read the parking policies under more parking on our website if you have any further questions. Also, on-street parking is not managed by UAB. It is managed by what was the app called? What's the app? It's managed by the City of Birmingham, but at this time I cannot. Oh, the Park Mobile app is managed by Park Mobile, which is also managed by the City of Birmingham. So we are not in control of parking on street. If you have any other questions or concerns, please feel free to view the interactive map of student parking on our website and let us know, email us, call us, let us know if you have any other further questions regarding your student's parking zone. We offer several services on campus, such as MARS, stands for Motorized. I'm gonna take that back. I can't think of the name that MARS stands for, but it's called MARS. We help with dead batteries, flat tires, if your keys get locked in your student's cars, or your student has an empty gas tank, they need help to commute themselves to the nearest gas station. The hours of the services run Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Please screenshot, take a picture of this number so that you as the parent can have this information so that if your student's battery dies or they have a flat tire or their keys are locked in their car, they'll be able to have access to this service because this service is operated for every student and employee here at UAB. Commute Smart. We also have a service called Commute Smart and then Groom. And then we also have a local Birmingham Shuttlesworth International Airport that's about 20-25 minute drive from UAB campus. And we also have a regional transportation through Amtrak, Greyhound, and Megabus. Top things to remember. One, there are options to get to, from, and around campus: walking, bicycling, transit, on demand, and driving. Two, parking permits. Fall, spring, and fall only permit sales begin August 1st. Permits are virtual and are associated with the vehicle license plate. You are allowed up to two permits registered to the permit. Only one can be on the campus at one time. Please ensure your license plate number are correct and make sure that you keep them updated and are on the parking portal website. Park with the license plate facing near towards the nearest driving aisle. Three, transportation services. Blazer Express, which you can find the routes and the times of that service on our Transloc app. Safety Escort and Blaze Ride are on demand, and you can also find the routes and the time frames of when they're operating on the Transloc apps. Lastly, here's our contact information. Um, and it was a pleasure speaking with you all today. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Sade.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for the information. And at this time, we'd like to open it up for questions and comments. If you all have any questions or comments, please feel free to post it in the Q&A section here on the webinar. And if you are viewing from our Facebook live stream, please place them in the comment section and we will get to them as soon as possible. So while we are waiting, I do have a question. By the way, my name is
Okay.
Keisha. I'm a part of UAB's Family Resource Council on the behalf of the Student Engagement Department. So regarding transportation, and of course, I know that we have a lot of parents and guardians and family members who are watching and who will catch the replay at some point, which can be found at uab.edu/families. And the webinars can be found again on our Facebook page. What about parking when family members and friends are visiting who are not UAB students and employees? Where can they park?
Okay, if they come on campus like Monday through Friday through normal operating business hours, they will have to park either at our visitor parking decks, which is 14th Street deck or University Boulevard deck, or their last resort would be parking on street. If they do decide to park in any of the zones that are dedicated to students, they will receive a citation. Unfortunately, parking here, spaces are really, really tight. So we don't have a lot of excess space for students, I mean, for parents or visitors to be able to park to assess their students. You'll have to just find visitor parking at the parking decks or park on street.
Okay, that was good. I've
Okay,
we have parked in those parking decks, and the walking is not bad at all. So,
right.
and it's a great opportunity to get your steps in.
It
And then
is.
there's often, yeah, and there's often parking spaces, in front of the dorms,
Right.
for in the regular parking. So I'm sure some people have some of those questions and may think about it later.
Okay.
Here is a question. What if a student is not able to get parking at their garage deck near their dorm? What should they do? What happens?
Well, okay, let me clarify this. Gold Hall is the only student parking, I'm sorry, Zone H and Gold Hall are the only student parking deck spaces that we have. You will only be able to park in those deck areas if Gold Hall, if you are a resident at Gold Hall. So if you're not a resident at Gold Hall, you wouldn't be able to even qualify for that deck. Zone H, the only way you will qualify for that deck is if you reside within that perimeter of those dormitories. So get back to your question, as far as decks, that's how they operate. As far as zones, if you're a housing student, we rarely run out of housing parking locations. So your student will never not find parking. But if they do on the website on August 1st, they're not able to sign up, please add them to the wait list and they will be issued a permit within the first 2 weeks of school, depending on capacity.
Thank you.
Mhm.
We do have another question. If the student's car is being maintenance, or is the student allowed to use another temporary vehicle, and what does that look like when changing um, the the parking decal? What does that look like?
So the parking decal, your license plate is your permit. So that student will need to have that temporary car they're driving on campus attached to their parking portal. Once you put that vehicle on your parking portal, it will automatically link to your permit. So the student will not have any issues with parking the other vehicle temporarily while the other vehicle is being maintained.
And just to add to that, they can only have two vehicles attached to
Mhm.
a single permit at any time, and only one of those vehicles can be parked on campus at a time.
Yes.
So if I'm understanding correctly, so if the vehicle is being maintenance, then they can go on the online and they can swap it out.
Well, they can add it.
They can
Okay,
add an
they can.
additional vehicle linked to their
Mhm.
permit, but they can only have two linked to any one permit, and only one of the vehicles can be on campus at a time.
Yes.
Got it. Got it. Okay, the person says thank you. Okay, so they understand. Thank you.
Mhm.
Let's see. Do we have any more questions? Um, I don't think that we do. So, in regard to Blaze, Blaze. Okay, so if we understand correctly, the Blaze transportation that is for disability services, and I believe I don't want to assume that everyone understands that here at UAB, disability services is disability. So if someone needs support at disability services for whatever the support is, then they get to use Blaze, correct?
Yes. So the way the eligibility system works for Blaze Ride is anybody that has sort of any like mobility issues or something like that, they can go through disability support services to get approved for eligibility for that, and then we will add them to our eligibility group, and instructions on how to access Blaze Ride should be given to them. But just to put it out there, all they would have to do is get approved through DSS and make sure they are logged into the Transloc app with their UAB account. And once those are done, we can add them into the eligibility group and they'll be able to request rides from Blaze Ride within the service zone, which is just essentially the campus limits.
Okay, thank you. And just not to clarify anything that you said, anyone who also has an injury, which would include mobility, which would be a long injury, that would be classified. They would also go through disability services. So if a person, this is just for clarification for our viewers who may not have already watched the disability services webinar. So if your student, let's say, breaks their leg, they would then go to disability services to see what kind of support they would need. And then they would be able to put in the necessary paperwork to utilize Blaze, right? Correct?
Yes. Yes. We
Okay,
do have temporary accommodations for um injuries and things like that.
awesome. Thank you. The next question is, what if a family member has purchased a new vehicle? How do they proceed to add that new vehicle on with the permit? I'm sorry, parking pass.
So like we kind of mentioned earlier, they will need to go to the parking portal website and add the vehicle to that student's permit.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is
And
that?
they,
I'm
s-
sorry.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
and if the vehicle does not have a license plate yet, instead of putting the license plate number, you'll put in the last 8 digits of the VIN number. And then when the student receives the license plate, then then you have to delete the device. You have to delete the vehicle off the parking portal and then re-add it. Because you can never, we don't allow students or employees to edit license plates because that could cause confusion down the road. And so they will have to just re-add the vehicle.
Okay. And if a student gets their vehicle later on in the semester, can they still put in their application for a parking pass? Or do they have to wait until the following semester?
It depends if the zones are sold out. It just depends on how much we have left how many permits we have left to sell.
Okay.
For commuter students, it may be more difficult because the a lot of most of the commuter lots sell out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't see any additional questions at this time. And please, everyone, if you do have any questions or comments for our friends here at Transportation, please feel welcome to post it in the Q&A section, the chat, and then the comment section on Facebook. Um, Once again, I don't think we've mentioned this yet. We will be sending everyone a survey at the end of this webinar. And at that time, you can let us know how we can better assist you and your student throughout the school year. And you will have an opportunity to let us know what additional questions you have regarding this webinar. And you can also reach out to our friends here at Transportation at UAB. Um, I don't, at this time, I still don't see any additional questions or comments. Do you all have any lasting remarks or comments that you all would like to leave with us for today?
Yes, I would like to reiterate the license plate recognition because last year was our first time implementing this new policy. And I just want to make sure that everyone knows that make sure your license plate is correct. Make sure the zeros are not O's. Make sure the O's are zeros. Make sure that, your student is parking where their license plate is being visible from the driver aisle because that is very important. Like I said, your license plate is your permit. So, um, I just wanted to reiterate that for you all's knowledge, just to make sure that you make sure you put the right information into the system to avoid any further future complications that the student may inquire. All right, that's all.
Thank you. What about, do you have anything, Jared? Sade's done an amazing job.
Um, all I really have to add is if you have any questions regarding which bus route a student should take from their lot or what other transportation options are available to them, feel free to reach out to me directly.
Okay, thank you, Garrett. If you all haven't taken a screenshot, please feel welcome to take a screenshot of the information that is on your screen currently. And like our friends stated, please contact Garrett directly if you have additional questions and contact UAB Transportation for your students' transportation needs throughout the academic school year. And if you have more questions, thank you all for joining us today for our webinar series on UAB Transportation. We do have another webinar this afternoon at 12 p.m. on sorority and fraternity life at UAB. We will be sending you all a survey after this webinar so that you all can let us know how we can better serve you and your students throughout the academic school year. And you can find all of our information regarding all of our webinar series and information regarding, I say regarding a lot, don't I? Information for all of our partners here at UAB at uab.edu/families. My name is Keisha. I am with the Family Resource Council on behalf of the Student and Engagement Department. Welcome to all of the new Blazers and returning Blazers, and we hope that you all have an amazing rest of your day. And until next time, go Blazers!